how can you fix this? The portal must be done. No, it doesn't have to be done in December.
Just put it after the season. It's it. That's it. Like, the transfer portal is completely broken, but you knew that. But let's get a little deeper. Let's get a little more specific. How did the NCAA allow it to get this far? I'm agreeing with Coach JB. I got to swallow my pride. He's been telling you for the last 2 years, but he's been right about one thing, and that transfer portal, the way it's been unregulated, the way that the NCAA has allowed it to transpire has gone to insane height. Y'all remember Caden Proctor's story last year? He flipped it in the transfer portal to Iowa, and then in the second transfer portal, after getting NIL money, flipped back. Well, this isn't the same thing that's happening, but something similar is starting to happen. We've got double transfers, and then we've got a gentleman who's transferring during not just bowl season, but somebody who is taking snaps for a playoff team. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally reached the mass exodus. I think everyone has felt similarly. Again, I don't think this is a hot take to say that the transfer portal is causing issues for college football. Let's be real. But now I think with this Bo Prabula, I believe his name, he was the backup quarterback, I believe, for the goddamn Nittany Lions, and a lot of people are reacting in very, very negative ways because, again, this is a playoff team. This isn't just, they're not playing for the Pop-Tart Bowl. Like y'all can win the championship, and we might need some quarterback bodies, we might need a holder. We might need, and I want to make sure I focus and that's why I said at the beginning, this is the NCAA's problem. I'm not blaming this kid. I am not blaming someone who does this. Arkansas running back Braylon Russell re-enters the transfer portal. Russell originally entered the portal on Tuesday, then removed his name, and now he's back in. He's a freshman, redshirt freshman. He is committed to Arkansas, decommitted, committed to Tennessee, decommitted, committed to Arkansas, entered transfer portal, exited portal, entered portal. Wow. This is crazy, dog. This is crazy. And let's look at the far-reaching scope of it, because something has to change. We can't have people, and it's a very simple change that needs to happen. There's two things. There needs to be a limit on how much and how often we can transfer. And how about, hey guys, how about close the transfer portal during football season? The season's going on. This is one of my favorite accounts on YouTube, TikTok, McCready and Siski. They do some good stuff over there. And I have to agree, there's not a lot of things that I agree with old Watts about, but talk about it.
Fix this. And when people say, how can you fix this? The portal must be done. No, it doesn't have to be done in December. You could do the portal in April. One portal in the spring, after spring football. You could do the portal, open it up for 3 weeks. Guys can leave, go to a new place. It doesn't interfere with the playoffs. It doesn't interfere with the bowl games. It doesn't interfere with a whole lot of stuff. This deal that we're about to do right now is stupid. I'm sorry. If you're a fan of a team and you're benefiting from it, I get it. You love it. I get it. But if you could take a step back and approach it from like my mindset, where you're looking at this going, I don't get it. This is insane. Diaz was like, well, at least we got the signing day thing out of the way. At least that's one thing off our plate. Okay, well, you could take this off the plate too. You could push this into the spring. Guys would still have plenty of time to get to their new home, acclimate, go through the off-season program.
I do have to disagree here. That's not enough time to get to a new home. Look, these are young kids and they're moving across. But here's where I'm going to agree that if you're going to transfer, you better be prepared to move into a new home. Like, you better be prepared for it to be rocky. But to act like a month or two is okay to get into a new home. I've moved in that time with that short amount of notice. It's rough, dog. And I know it's even rougher on 18 to whatever years old. But again, I feel bad for him, but I can't feel bad for him because if you're making a decision to transfer 7 times, that's on you. But continue.
Program, 5th quarter, 8th quarter, whatever corny thing people call it. Go through that. You'd go through preseason camp, get ready for the season. You'd still have all that time. Please spare me, though. They must have spring football. Without spring football, we just cannot possibly put a team together. They do it in the NFL. You absolutely could. You absolutely could. Guys train year-round now. If you're not in shape in July, guess what? Your ass isn't going to be ready for September anyway. It's year-round. Let's admit that the calendar's changed. Let's look at this and go, this is stupid. Because this is stupid. And the fact that I'm the only person going, this is stupid, makes me think I'm stupid.
No. It's a cold take, but I feel you. Very, very cold take, but I'm not mad at you because it's a take that I wholeheartedly agree with it. Joshua Carway on Twitter says, I just looked it up. There are 6,000 active football players. Now, I couldn't find this number before we read the rest of this tweet. I looked on3. I looked at 24/7 too. They didn't really have any numbers. I'm sure I could search how many people are in transfer portal, but just off of these, which are the most popular, it seems like 1730, which is still insane. The transfer portal officially today has been opened a week, so 1,000 people in there. But from his calculations, I'm sure that he did the actual Google searches. I just looked it up. There are 6,000 active football players in NCAA transfer portal at the moment. Of that total number, 2,000 players are from the FBS schools, 1,639 players are from FCS schools. And then that's fair because On3 doesn't have any, I don't think has that many FCS schools. That doesn't count JUCO/NAIA guys looking for a home. There are thousands of D2 and D3 guys trying to move up. Recruits, the music will stop and the ride will end. When it does, make sure you're playing football and not just collecting graphics and offers. And look, man, I am someone who, y'all know I'm younger. Y'all know that I'm very, very much pro transfer portal. I'm pro NIL. I'm pro people getting money, but it's got to be done in the right way. And these kids have to be able to protect themselves. And these kids have to be able to look at the bigger picture. And I think that's the problem that I think some people are getting. We can be upset at the old fogies saying, oh my God, stop paying players. That's different. This is not what they're doing. They're not this. What we're concerned about here, this is a fundamental issue with trying to build a team. Like even NFL teams don't go through stuff like this because they have a regulated transfer portal and transfer portal. They have a regulated free agency period, right? They have contracts. They have a players union. They have a CBA that lists out all the issues, things, contingencies with money, situations, poor performance, good performance. Like those are all listed out. But when we don't list it out, NCAA, when we just allow things to happen and expect the same 18 to 22-year-olds that y'all try to lock in with student debt, you think those same ones aren't going to act crazy when you tell them, oh, you can get $40,000 if you go to Tulsa. Go watch my Tulsa video. Oh, you can get $25,000 if you go to UNLV, even though Matthew Sluka got guaranteed $100,000, right? So it's not that this is an NIL problem. It's that the transfer portal is now sickening because of what people are doing with the NIL. And don't get me started on the fact that at the end of this year, rosters are getting cut to 105, from 130 to 105. So there are going to be a lot more. Look, I'm not a mathematician. I didn't pass geometry, all right? That's a lot more spots that aren't there anymore. And I feel like, and I could be wrong, we can look at the statistics. I think last year it was 3,000, at least from what On3 has. Yeah, 3,301. And then so 3,000 people, and then it's about a 70% commit. So 70% last year made, found a home. So we have to assume 70%, which I mean, granted, that's not bad. C's get degrees, but that's still a lot of people that are going to be without home. And I have to imagine that even more people are going to be without home, and even more D2 players and D3 players and JUCO players and NAIA players in these places in spots in the Cam Wards of the world who went to Incarnate World and did his time and then transferred up. Who people like Cam Newton, who had to go away from Florida, do his time at JUCO and then come up. People like Tank Dell, who had to go to Independence and then come back to University of Houston, show out, and then join the AFC champions back to back. I don't care that CJ Stroud's having a sophomore slump. Sorry, I had to inject some NFL stuff. But you get what I'm saying. Like, it's a different process now. And I saw this video. I couldn't find it. It's just a dude yapping. I yap enough, so I'm not going to put it in here. But he was explaining, like, back in the day before the transfer portal was wide open, before NIL, like I was explaining to you, people transferred out of a necessity, right? And what's messed up is these players double transferring, quadruple transferring during not the bowl season, but during playoffs. It's making things a lot more, you know what I'm saying? It's making things a lot more nasty. Back in the day, it was like, yo, it's your last leg. Go HBCU. Go to a D2. Go, you know what I'm saying? Go get some tape out there. Hey, you're a D2 guy who's been grinding for 3 years. I'll go transfer out. My man, Moore. I can't believe I forgot his first name. My man Moore out of the University of Texas, UTEP. I know that's not a FCS school or anything, but lower division. Boom, come up. Like that's what it should be about. But it seems like a lot of people are just hopping and jumping and jumping ships, and it's not adding up. And I think the biggest culprit, before we talk about these kids, before we talk about anybody, dog, it is the NCAA. They've enabled it, they've allowed it, and they put it to the place that we are. It's absolute craziness, and it needs to be fixed. We know a simple fix. Just put it after the season. It's it. That's it. Like it's not like some cosmic thing. There's no, we got to do this today. No, let them transfer after they're done with their season, right? And then if we're going to do these, because, oh, my God, we get the profit sharing. How is that going to work? How are you going to get a profit share? Okay, I want to put the scenario. Before we're gonna check on the transfer portal, just see a few new names that got committed. Before I do that, I want to put this scenario in your head, okay? Imagine like this gentleman here. Not this gentleman, but or even this gentleman here who's transferred 4 times now and is now in the transfer portal, Eric Gilbert. And this is a guy that is a 5-star guy. Like he's a 5-star tight end. He was well heralded everywhere we go. Imagine this guy who didn't bounce from small schools, LSU, Florida, Georgia, Nebraska, all top tier blue blood schools. I mean, some would consider blue blood schools, right? Imagine he gets a little cheese from LSU, not from NIL deals now, not from collectives, but from profit sharing, because they have to draw up profit sharing now. They have to give everybody on the team money now. So imagine he gets paid all these places from the team. And then Nebraska, hypothetically, they're in the playoffs. He's not getting playing time. He's second string. He comes in on third down packages. Man, I'm going to get out of here. How do you, if there's, what's the contract going to look like? Is he going to sue the university for lost wages because they go play for another 6 games or whatever and make the playoffs and win the national champion, and he's getting ready for his 8th team that he just transferred out? But he's like, hey, I'm a part of the team. That's a part of my checks. This is going to get nasty unless the NCAA starts to draw some things. So just quick updates. Shout out to On3 Transfer Portal. Micah Hudson, someone who Colorado had their eye on, did commit to A&M out. Wow, you go from Texas Tech to Texas A&M. Interesting. Engineers to cultists, but do what you do. Explosive guy. We got a big name here, Michael Van Buren, a big body, mobile guy from Mississippi State, goes over to LSU. I believe Croman Hawk is rumored to go to Mississippi State. So this gets real interesting for Gus Nussmeier, Mr. Nussmeier. But we'll see there. Miller Moss to Louisville. I think that's an interesting little situation. I think he could do some big stuff there. I think he's got a bright future. And then safety Dylan Thieneman, a lot of people had him. I know Colorado also had him on their list too, but he is officially an Oregon Duck. Just a quick little update there, man. But look, we know what needs to happen. These graphics, we got to stop making these. This is absurd, man. But y'all get in the comments. Y'all let me know, how should we fix the transfer portal? Is there a problem? Is there not a problem? Like if you like it, dislike if you don't like it, man. We'll see you next time.